Hello and welcome to this pick a card reading. Today's topic is about getting the rest that you need and that your body deserves. Each of these piles laid out have a Four of Swords card from their corresponding decks, and each of the piles will contain messages from your guides, from your support team, on how you can better dive into, sink into, relax into the energy of rest. So, pile one here, this first card is from the Curious Creatures Tarot deck. Pile two is the Zombie Tarot. Pile three, this is the Field Tarot. And pile four, this is the Cosmic Tarot. You can take your time to make your selection, pausing the video if need be. Then jump over to the description box to find the timestamp for your pile or piles. Feel free to read every message if you really want to get some different ideas on how you might better embrace the energy of resting. The Four of Swords is a card archetype that depicts taking a break, taking time out from the mental activity. It's relying on the stability, the number four, support of what is around you, beneath you. It's being able to take a pause and a rest. So, again, pause if need be, and I will meet you at your chosen pile in that reading. Welcome. If you chose pile one, this is your reading, and this is your Four of Swords from the Curious Creatures Tarot. It's a beautiful little sloth, and she's resting on what looks like a swing, or maybe just within the leaves. I love the way she's holding herself in this image as well. So, with sloths, the message is obviously take it slow. Take it slow, be lazy, relax. We're going to jump in also to your oracle cards here to get a better picture. So, I had shuffled some oracle cards already, and I'll pull some tarot cards as we move through to get an idea of what's happening. So, wow, okay. First out, these oracle cards were meant to be a message of what might be standing in the way of your rest. And this is from the Dreaming in Color oracle. And this first one out is pride. Pride is an interesting experience. Um, there are no concepts in the world, in my personal opinion and awareness, that are good or bad. Pride can be great when you take pride in doing something with your integrity intact, or you take pride in the way that you treat people. However, if your pride gets in the way of allowing you to do things that might be for the best or for the good, because you don't want to be wrong or because you can't come to the awareness of self, um, then it can be a bad thing. Avarice. I'm going to consult the book here. Based on what I'm seeing and feeling here, this is like really avoiding yourself. There's something deep and almost dark. Like, see all the tendrils here? This is like, oh, wow, that's really incredible. What started as something that you really had a good hope or a good reason to be proud of is now, like, look at this, diminished by the way you're going about it. This feels like an ends justify the means type of situation here. Like, you started doing something, and you were like really happy about it. You were really chugging along. You were really like illuminated and empowered by it. But then, like, the reason why you were doing it, the reason why you were doing it started changing. So I create these YouTube videos, and do I want to share hope, strength, wisdom, tarot information, my joy, all those things? Yes. And I do also want to monetize this channel. I want to, receive payment for it. And this, to me, this reading feels like the cautionary tale of Are you making content because you want to get something from it? Like, in other words, is the greed wrapping you up? Is the greed diminishing your light, taking away the focus from what it should be? Or are you really proud of what you're putting out? Or maybe are you sacrificing what you're doing because of the way that you're doing it? So let me go into this. I want to consult with this avarice, grasping, materialism, greed. A worship of money leads to destruction and thwarts spiritual advancement. Um, Overly self indulgent. Okay, so what it feels like here is you're working too hard. You're working too hard and it's not allowing you to rest. You're working too hard because you really want to be proud of something, you really want to accomplish something. But sometimes when we are like really full steam moving towards something and we're burning ourselves out, we're not going to do our best work. I've got another oracle card I want to pull in here, 41. Anishinaabe, the good being worth. Oh, sweet love. And look at, here's that golden sun again mirrored. Okay, and the beings. I love that there's four beings in that card. 41, the good being. Okay, pile one, sweet darling love. You don't need to try so hard. You don't need to try so hard. You're allowed to rest before the work is done. You're allowed to rest before the final product is finished. Like, take it this way. If a woman tried to cram her entire pregnancy in the span of a month, it wouldn't work. If you tried to build an entire skyscraper in the span of a week, that's too fast. Something's going to be, it's not going to be great. You know, that it's that whole thing of Rome wasn't built in a day. Um, there's something here about like, don't worry about and don't be too quick to rush to the recognition, is really what I'm feeling. The appropriate kind of recognition that's really going to feel good and rewarding for you is going to be the internal recognition, not the external. And that's very apparent to me in this golden orb that's showing up here and these very gentle characters of the deer. This yellow color that keeps coming up in different ways. This is about the solar plexus, and this is about like this little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Like being proud of who you are. But here's the thing: if you are shining your light too much and you're not resting enough, it burns you out. It makes you so you're not so gentle. That's the key word I think when I see these deer here. This is gentle. This is a gentle, lazy stream. This is a gentle little child. This is gentle. Look how close they are together. Animals have to trust human beings or at least not be afraid of them in order to be this gentle. And again, I'll reference how gently this sloth is holding herself over here, like the caress of slowness is really what you need right now. That's what will help you have the really good outcome that I feel that you're looking for. I'm going to shuffle a couple more cards, tarot cards out of this Curious Creatures deck to see what other kind of messages want to come out. What else I need to clarify for you here, because I really want this reading to help you feel unburdened, like feel like you can actually take a rest. Basically, I want it to feel like permission granted. As I'm shuffling, I'm being really drawn to, and I'll lift it up here in a second. Oh, this spiral inside the sun. There's like an inner journey here. There's inner work to be done, you know, so that you tap into your pureness. Like it feels like, ooh, and the Hermit card. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. I said the inner journey, and here's the Hermit. Oh my goodness. Okay, so look at, here's that golden sun again in her lantern. The Hermit is a card about going within. It's about finding your own light, your own inner guidance. And so much of this feels like being your own gentle parent. Oh, so it feels like you're on a journey of you've expected too much of yourself for a very long time. You've not allowed yourself to rest because you didn't really have gentle guidance in the form of like a family or a herd or like a team where you belong to, and they were like supporting you and saying, yeah, you're doing great, keep going. It was more like, oh my gosh, you're not done yet, you haven't figured this out yet, you need to keep going, you're not anything. With this, the good being and worth here, the hermit discovers its worth by, see how there's nothing else around here, there's no other beings. The hermit takes a journey for itself, within itself, to discover its own light. It learns to walk and carry itself. So, what is your inner hermit wisdom trying to share with you in regard to rest and worthiness? Here we go. Oh my gosh, the sun. I'm telling you, this pile one, if you don't have some yellow clothing, maybe get a yellow scarf, get a yellow sheet, blanket, cape, something like that. Like literally cloak yourself in yellow, and maybe have some affirmations of like, I'm worthy of rest. I'm worthy of attending to my own inner light. I'm worthy of the radiance that I like want to uphold and shine. Like I'm worthy of being seen. 4, 5, 9. Interesting. Four of Swords, 41 is a 5. 4 and 5 is a 9. You've got a 9. You've got a 19, which when you put that together is a 10. Feels like, especially because you've got these two major arcana that have come out here, feels like this is a real big thing for you. Like it's really been hard to see yourself as worthy of taking. It's both. It's a conundrum, which is great because I love complexities. I love contradictions, and you're a contradiction. You both want to be kept to yourself and you want to shine like the sun. This is definitely my pile. This is absolutely my reading. You want to be able to go your own way. You want to be in charge of when you're seen and when you're not. You want to be in charge of when you want to rest and retreat and hold yourself and be to yourself, and also when you want to step out and be visible, vulnerable, and curious. Oh my gosh. Pile one, this is really, here's the Emperor. 4 again. You've got a lot of support from the universe on this journey. You've got a lot of support for the universe on this journey. This is building you. This experience of learning how to rest, of learning how to say, like, yeah, I'm in charge here. And sometimes I do my best work while I'm not, running around spinning my wheels. My best work comes from being in my own energy. My best work comes from slowing down and holding one or two things at a time, like an invitation to rest, an invitation to sit with self. I'm going to shuffle just one more card. And I might actually grab another oracle deck, because this reading is this is some really big energy. It feels like this is a lifetime accomplishment lesson here. Okay, yes. And then out comes the 3 of Wands in reverse. So 3 of Wands in reverse is about like not having an inspired decision having been made. 3 of Wands in general is about moving forward once you've made a choice, once you've made a passionately inspired choice. Like you see, look at the sun rising. Oh my gosh, and this theme of the yellow light and the sun and the orb and the shine and all of that stuff. Okay, you may be a manifester in human design. I sure am. And the manifester energy is very much that of the cycle of rising and falling as far as the sun goes. We have this inspiration to act, 3 of Wands. We decide, we make a decision, we do that. And then we allow ourselves to rest until we're inspired. We are worthy of this process and this cycle. And whether you're a human design manifestor or not, if you pick this pile, this is the message for you. we're worthy of rest. We're worthy of rest no matter how much we've accomplished, no matter how much we think we need to do to be deserving. It's garbage. We don't need to become worthy of resting. Rest is a part of the natural cycle of everything in the world, including the sun. And if the sun changed its ways, we would all die. So, this is a really large message about honoring your own natural rhythm and not allowing ego and pride, or potential like the fear or the threat of shame to derail you from your inherent knowing and understanding your worth. This is three major arcana that are all centrally fixated, and not in a bad way. This is literally the epitome of you are the wisest person in your own life. Follow your own guidance and your own inspiration. This spread right here. You know the answers. And if you don't, you need to take some rest. Before I started recording this video, I did this 22-minute long yoga nidra non-sleep deep rest video, and it was so rejuvenating because prior to then I had been spiraling slightly. It's a Gemini moon on the day that I'm recording this. I'm moon ruled. I get caught up in what I want to be doing, what I'm telling myself I should be doing, and I forget that my worth is not wrapped up in my accomplishments. um, this is definitely my pile. Pile one, if you chose this pile, hear me. Hear me slowing myself down because this is what is being asked of you. Rule yourself, guide yourself, be the disciplinarian father figure towards yourself that comes with love and says, stop what you're doing, put it all down, and go rest. The Emperor is the four, just like the Four of Swords rest card is. It understands support. Give yourself the support that you need by allowing your body to rest and wait to be inspired. Don't force yourself. Rest so you can better hear your intuition. Rest so you can more cleanly illuminate what wants to be seen without all this muddiness, without all this muddy water and all of this blood flow and intensity. And this feels like pressure. This feels like pressure and grasping and all sorts of things, where this feels like inspiration and commitment, which will always yield better results. Inspiration and commitment will always yield better results than forced pressure and shaming. Remember your worth. Remember that your worth is not linked to your productivity. Your worth is intrinsic, just like the hermit's lantern, just like your solar plexus, just like the light within you, just like the light that you are. Pile one, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope that it meant something to you. I hope it made you feel, I hope that it gave you the permission slip that you were looking for to be able to rest and put yourself first. Please give this video a like if you did. I do read every comment and I do feel the energy of every commenter and I do send my love back. So please, if you feel called, share your experience in the comments. If you felt like you might be interested in another pile, I will see you then, or I will see you in another reading. Thank you, Pile 1 readers. Take care. Okay, if you chose Pile 2, welcome to your reading. This is the Four of Swords card from the Zombie Tarot. The artwork on this deck is always very interesting. I'll zoom in so you can get all that glorious zombie action. So, like, literally, what's depicted here is this soldier resting, and his mind is filled with, or trying to rest, and his mind is filled with all of these scenes from this zombie apocalypse that's happening outside. So he's not really feeling very restful. He's feeling really guarded. So that already gives me some indications to maybe what might be going on in this pile. But I do have some other oracle cards here that I'm going to pull out as well. These are from the Dreaming in Color Oracle, Lethargy, and Learning. Wow, interesting that this is a very similar color theme too here. Lethargy and Learning. Interesting. I'm going to pull this one other oracle that had already been pulled, and I'll get into some more tarot cards as well, but I kind of want to just feel this whole thing out. Surrender. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me really just feel into this energy here. Lethargy, learning, Earth Mother, surrender. Okay, it feels like you are so highly aware and so very smart that the intelligence almost like leads you to burnout, like information burnout. Oh, it's this 4 and the 3. Okay, hold on just a moment here. So I really get the feeling with this group that if you're here, you're trying to break free of the being trapped in the mentality of like, you're so aware of how crappy the world is and how easy it is to adopt a like this is the end or a defeatist mentality. It feels like with this lethargy here, I almost expect to see the Four of Cups come up somewhere in this reading, especially with all this water pouring out. So, what I'm really getting the feeling of is that there's like an apathy underlying here. It's like you can't actually rest because there is no like relief. You don't feel the support of anything good, nurturing. Like, I have a feeling that you kind of have like an atheist or like an agnostic type of lean where there like is no divinity, there is no anything to believe in. There is no hope or optimism or things like that. But I feel like you're on the path of like you're wanting to break that mental energy. You're wanting to soften that. Like you want something new to come in and grow you. Like you're ready for this surrender. You wish that something would make sense enough to you or show you that you could like sleep better at night. You need some softness. You need to be able to imagine a world in which this zombie apocalypse is not happening. You know, you need to be able to imagine or envision like a world where people are getting their needs met emotionally, where like this heart center, where people are actually focused on and visualizing and bringing into life like a peaceful world. I feel like you came into this lifetime to learn how to feel very deeply. I'm getting like definite empath vibes, to learn how to feel very deeply and to not let that break you. Um, yeah, that's really a big feeling. To come here and to learn how to see and feel and take in all of this experience and to not allow it to break you down or turn you into a zombie. You know, it's like this guy's hanging on to his humanity. Like hanging on to his humanity, even though he's seeing all this suffering, all this turmoil. So this pile, I feel like we need to move into some tactics to like get your mind, and this is why you've got the third eye here. Um, to have some practices to almost recondition or decondition your mind away from the suffering. And now, this isn't me saying like to turn a blind eye to suffering, but to be able to rephrase it, to be able to surrender to it, to maybe see the higher meaning of it, to maybe see the reason or the purpose behind it, and how the purpose behind it can actually be for the good. So I'm going to shuffle some more tarot cards to see what else wants to come up here. What else is Spirit trying to communicate to you? And when I say what Spirit is trying to communicate to you, I'm going to make a video about this because I find myself explaining it sometimes in all of these videos. But This is just the divine intelligence of the universe, wanting to partner and participate in your perspective, because your awareness and your experience is the universe experiencing itself. You are here to share a perspective that only you will ever hold, and hold it up so that the whole of the universe can see what you see. So your choices aren't wrong or bad, and nor are other people's. But when they're chock full of suffering, it's really hard to see that divine detachment. One card fell on the floor already. Let me grab that. The moon. So you've got the moon coming out here, and the moon is always about something being less than illuminated. So this is again like not seeing the full picture. You're not seeing the reason behind why it is what it is. The chariot. Oh, the chariot and the moon. Can I have one more? Okay. You're unlocking some hidden wisdom that you really came to this life. Oh my gosh. And the sun. This is a huge reading. The first pile got a lot of major arcana as well. So if you felt drawn to that pile and you didn't watch it yet, maybe you want to go back and watch that one as well. I'm not sure how these completely link together yet, if at all. However, the sun was a huge um, card and presence in that reading. And so it's also represented here with this orb. So if you're coming from pile one, or if you want to go back to it, there was basically a lot about your own inner wisdom and your own illumination. In this reading, we're really focused on here. This is like moving forward. Oh my gosh, so perfect. The chariot is about moving forward with both the dark and the light. And look at this. You have the dark and the light. You have the lesser illuminator and you have the brighter illuminator. You have the moon and the sun and the chariot. So this is, oh my gosh, about getting your subconscious and your conscious self in line and having a perspective. I'm going to just move these all around because this wants to be right here. This is about creating a perspective that moves you out of there's nothing I can do about it. The world is so sad. Everyone's so sad. Everyone's so tragic. Everything is so bad. There's so much suffering. There's so much like death and destruction and war and terror and all these things and all these like control dynamics and blah, 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 blah. There's all of this stuff that's literally been keeping you awake at night. Like it prevents you from resting because your soul does not feel at rest. Your soul doesn't agree with the conditions of this world. Okay. And that's really hard to rectify. So, like, moment of silence for you. Beautiful, beautiful heart. Let me help you, please. See how this is all right. All things have to be. Everything that's ever thought and experienced will be. There is no expression of light without an expression of darkness. If we surrender to the moments that are dark, we will fall through a beautiful black hole that brings us out to the light on the other side. This is lovely, poetic, romantic speaking that I'm saying here, but there really is no black and white concrete way to express what I'm saying. But what I'm trying to express to you is that you yourself are coming into an understanding. You are learning that you didn't come here to suffer and become apathetic to the suffering. You came here to find the power in vulnerably emoting, expressing, allowing emotion to flow through you, allowing yourself to feel these feelings and emanating the wisdom of it. You're here on a self-mastery journey. You're here on a self-mastery journey to understand that when we fight and rally against what we think is bad or hurtful or unjust, those things persist. When we surrender to it and we make let me restart. When we surrender to it and we ask for the good to be revealed, when we ask for what is unseen in the subconscious, in the back of our mind, in our lack of understanding, when we ask for the deeper meanings and wisdom to be revealed to us, everything in the entire universe will conspire to bring that to us. I love that there's a bride down here. This is like the mystics reading, okay? This is like the surrendering to the Rumi romance of the universe. When you so love the experience of being human, because you finally get that the deeper the pain, the greater the experience of love, that the contrast is meant to serve and deepen, and propel how far we can go. It's like slingshot energy that you're learning here. Everything that's been holding you back, everything that's been hurting you, holding you down, making you feel, it's like when you finally allow yourself to express all of that emotion and feel it and let it teach you, oh my gosh, you're going to slingshot forward. Like this chariot is going to take you so far when you realize, like, yes, my bad and my good, my dark and my light, my depression and my overjoy, all of it means something. The suffering and the rescue, the being trapped and the freedom, the contrast. When we surrender to the experience of the contrast, of the duality, look at this duality. When we see that it's all for the purpose of finding that gray and experiencing that spectrum of color that's found in the middle, that's freedom, that's peace. This I can't not say. If you've never watched V for Vendetta, please watch it. This is Evie on the rooftop in V for Vendetta. She realized that everything she thought she knew about life, which was fear, by the way, was so incorrect. And her world shattered, and her personality shattered, and she let herself cry, and she let herself find meaning in it, and then she found freedom. And she no longer had to be stranded on this rooftop, stranded like in this bird's eye view where you think you can see everything because you're so smart, which is true, and you can see all of the suffering, which is there, and you can see that there's no easy way out, which is also true. But it doesn't mean there isn't a way. It doesn't mean there isn't a way. And it doesn't mean that it has to be that way forever. It doesn't mean that that's where you're best serving the world, is with your, perspective of the suffering. Get out of there. Go find somewhere else to look around. I'm going to pull one more card because I feel like there's something. There's something that wants to like come home, land home. I feel like I'm almost want to criticize myself for not making sense in this video, but I feel really strongly that if you were drawn to this video, the way that my metaphorical, meanderings of trying to make meaning of this are gonna perfectly make sense to you. And I'm gonna cry. Storytelling, connection, because you, like me, are a weaver. You can see the threads, and that's why it hurts so bad. That's why it hurts so bad when you see the suffering, because you see how it all stems back to, like, basically an inability to accept and move forward with both our badness and our goodness, and not having to correct anything, but just being able to connect and tell the story of who we are, tell the story of humanity, sit in the warmth. Like, oh my gosh, I'm really going to cry, and I'm not even going to hold it in because I really feel like this is what you need to do too. Pile 2, you're meant to surrender to the emotions that want to move through you. Because when you allow yourself to feel, you become a storyteller. And stories have power. Symbolism has power, which is why I read cards, which is why I make sense of the world and the suffering and the pain of it. And I glean hope for it through this. You're meant to connect the dots of all the conspiracy theories and the suffering and all of that stuff and bring it back to goodness. You're meant to break through the lethargy and find your purpose. You're meant to learn what you came here to do. And I firmly believe it's as simple and as beautiful as this double seven. Be human. Be human and move forward. Tell your story. Share the wisdom that comes from your experience. Give others the benefit of you having suffered through feeling all of this tragedy. And tell the story of how that serves purpose. Whisper beautiful purpose. Shine a light. Pile 2. I'm gonna, before I move into another pile, I'm gonna let myself have a good cry. And I really hope you do the same. And I hope that you share your story in the comments because I really want to hear it. I really want to hear it. That's all the messages I have for you right now, pile 2. Please like this reading if you did, and please do, again, leave a comment if it resonated with you. Share your story. And if there's another reading or another pile that interested you, I will see you there. Or if you subscribe, I will see you in the next video. Take care. Hello, pile 3. If you chose this pile or this card, this is your tarot card. This is from the Field Tarot deck. It's got beautiful, soft pastel colors all throughout it. And I really love the symmetry in this deck. It feels balanced. I've got some oracle cards already pulled for you, and I'll pull some tarot cards as we get in. This Four of Swords is coming to you with intuition and learning. Interesting. Learning came out in pile 2, so perhaps there's a message for you in there. I'll let you decide on that. Intuition and learning. Okay, already right off the bat, I really love these colors. These are some like personal colors for me. So green reminds me of the Virgo, the earth colors. I have a Virgo south node and a Pisces north node, and the purple is a Pisces for me. So I'm getting the feelings of learning to balance practicality and spirituality. Maybe being more spiritually healthful, bringing more spiritual ritual into your everyday, um, developing more of a relationship with spirit through rest, learning how to use rest as a tool to develop your intuition. All of these things are the themes I'm feeling in this reading. Oh, wow. And this, okay, this isn't coincidence. This card already came up in another pile. You have a gift, pile 3. You are able to channel. You're able to channel wisdom and information. You're able to make sense of large concepts that don't immediately make sense to other people. And you have this ability to connect with people. You have this ability to channel what other people need through you from spirit to help others with the same thing. So, what is the issue with rest? It's not your job to always do and be on for other people, though. Like, part of your learning is when to connect with yourself and when to connect with others, when to keep it for you, and when to share it with others. In this rest card, there's one of these squares in that upper left that is orange, and the rest of them are kind of muted. Orange is a color that reminds me of creation, some sacral chakra energy in there, and the rest feel like this feels like following your cycle. This feels like following periods of sometimes I'm inspired and then I take the action and then I see the action through, and then I need to take a rest until I'm inspired again. So this is like also a note about asking and listening to your intuition as to like what phase am I in right now? What do I need right now? Like, am I in a point of inspiration where I want to share and story tell? Or do I not have the connection for that? I'm going to pull some more tarot cards here to see what else. So this is the Three of Discs work. I feel like, what else? So something about building, you're starting to build something here. You might even be like teaching a class or forming some sort of coursework around building the intuition or some sort of spiritual teaching type of thing. Yeah, here you go. The Hierophant comes out. So, of course. Uh, and you feel so like it's your job or like it's necessary for you to do this work for other people, because if you don't do it, who's going to do it? Or these poor people? And I feel like maybe perhaps like an over exaggeration of like the need for you. And I don't mean that in a way where you're making yourself more self important from an ego standpoint. It doesn't feel like that at all. It feels more like you haven't been giving yourself a break because of what you assume other people need from you. And then here's the Emperor in reverse. Ooh, this is excellent. Your guides want you to take more time to listen to you and more time to ask for your answers and to rest for yourself, because you're really good at getting into your channel. I feel like you're really good at getting into your channel. You're really good at getting, and if the term channel doesn't resonate with you, this is what I mean. You're really good at being the solution for other people, finding the solution, fixing problems, helping other people figure out their way. You're like, you help other people build what's good for them. You're good at doing the work, but you're losing your ass, excuse me. You're losing your own your own throne, your own handle on your own life and your own pure spirit. You're losing your freedom, pile 3. You're losing your freedom because you're chaining yourself to being responsible for teaching. You're not, and it was 42:44 when I just looked at the timer. So, oh my gosh. So 42:44, that's 4. And so literally the video just cut out, stopped recording, and I'm just coming back to not end it quite so abruptly. So that is clearly the end of the messages for you here, pile 3. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please do like it and share your experience, comments if this resonated with you, if you know exactly what I was talking about, because I have the feeling that you do. So I appreciate your feedback. Subscribe to the channel for more videos as they come out. Thank you again. I'm moving on to pile 4. Okay, pile 4. If you chose this reading, chose this pile, this is your Four of Swords card. This is from the Cosmic Tarot. And this Four of Swords really, Jupiter comes in really loudly with this. And Jupiter is like an archetype of the father, but this benefactor type of father that's kind of like, all right, come on, kid, sit down. I get the feeling with this card of like, come sit down and have a beer with me. My dad was an alcoholic and passed that way, so it's kind of funny, morbidly so in that way to me, but there's like hydration, and there's wine and there's all this stuff. So like take that as you will. I'm going to put this right here. I've got some oracle cards pulled for you. These are from the Dreaming in Color tarot, or not tarot, oracle, and I really am loving and digging these messages. Foreboding and blindness. Wow, this is very interesting. I'm going to get right into your other oracle cards too, so I can kind of just bring this all together. Look at those colors, though. This is much different energy already than the rest of the piles today. Slide these over so I can see all of this. So you've also got number 8, ancestral love and tending. Number 22, strawberry with love. So you've got love twice, but with foreboding and blindness. I, okay. I feel like there's some generational trauma here. Pile 4. I feel like you're coming from a place of like the people that raised you or should have been raising you were really wounded, and they didn't do a great job teaching you your self-worth. They didn't do a great job showing you support. They didn't do anything good for you in terms of like helping you see yourself as worthy of love and receiving, of protection, of comfort, of rest. It's like you've had to work so hard. This 8 with the ancestral loves reminds me of like the 8 of Pentacles, where you've had to like craft, you've had to like become yourself through no one seeing you. Like this blindness feels like you've been trying to narrow down through all this heartache, like who you actually are and how you can grow, how you can like dare to live with all the tightness, the restriction, the squeezing, the like, ah, this feels like a really, you're ready for a breakthrough type of energy, but like by being invited into like community. Come on, come be with us. Like, come get this love that's being offered. You've not been able to see it. You've not been able to like receive it. But it's here for you. And we want to give it to you. There's a huge we factor in this pile. You've got a lot of people around you. So I want to go here and here. I feel like it's time for you to choose which side you want to align with. And this sounds and feels intense, and it kind of is. I feel like you are at a point where you could go one way or the other. You could either choose the darkness or choose the light. You could either give in to your apathy and your trauma and your wounding, or you can search for and latch on to hope. You're at a spiritual crossroads right now where you can break free from a very, very long dark night of the soul. And it's 4:44 as I'm saying that. Or you can stay aligned with the darkness. And if you do, you'll never get the rest. You'll never, ever rest if you align with the darkness. This feels like a call to come to your spiritual team. It feels like a call to meet your tribe, to be received by them. I'm going to shuffle some more tarot cards here and see what the rest of this message is, because I feel like this is some big energy for you. 8 of Swords. You've been trapped. You've been trapped in holding yourself away from yourself because that's what you were shown to do. There's some dark karma that's been around in your family messages and stuff for a long time. And I don't mean that like you should be afraid of whatever. You came here to do some big things. Your path has not been an easy one, pile 4. You've had some like mental and emotional challenges up the wazoo. 7 of Wands, Queen of Swords. Okay, yes. But it's just as I had already said. I'm going to apologize, pile 4. This video has gotten cut out many times, and quite frankly, this foreboding card and the messages that I'm receiving here, it feels like there is so much static and darkness and stuff that is trying to interrupt your clarity and your peace. And that is exactly what you came here in this very challenging lifetime of yours to get out of. This 8 of Swords is like this false trap. It's a false mental trap. It's like, oh my goodness, poor me, I'm stuck in this thing. I'm stuck on this really thin ice and I'm just going to be trapped in this thing forever. Why? Walk around this. Turn and face each other and come to a conclusion and a solution that you can get out of this thing. I'm feeling really mentally intense right now. And I think that's part of the distraction. There's like so much mental and emotional overwhelm. So I'm going to weave a story together, okay? Because this is what it feels like. And I'm going to take a sip of water because, man, it feels like for a very long time there's been a lot of blindness in your soul family, your actual like generational DNA type of family around this energy of like, I can't rest. I can't get a break. I'll never get a break. We can never catch a break. No one gives us a break. Nice guys finish last. I'm doing all of the right things, but I still can't get ahead. It's this very real, perpetual victim mentality. But by having such a deeply ingrained and strong victim mentality, the universe actually does turn you into a victim. Like it gives you more situations with which to confirm your victim mentality, the state of your victimhood, right? Which only gives you more feelings of like being emptied, being drained, being a victim. And in order to rest, you have to come to clarity. You have to become so okay, this is a paradox, what I'm about to say. You have to be so self loving that you become mentally strong, unwilling to settle for a lack of clarity, unwilling to speak unlovingly against yourself. Because being a victim is not love. Like when someone's a dominator or a powerful, over or domineering figure and another person's a victim, that's not a loving relationship. A loving relationship is when both people are capable of being interdependent. I love myself so much and so wholly that I am free and choosing to love you, and me too. And look at that, because we don't depend on one another for the love, we can be personally empowered. Now, how this relates to like victim mentality is like, I'm so powerful that if I find myself as a victim of a situation, I'm going to figure out how both parts of me or all parts of me can come to a different conclusion, come to a different way of being. Um, how am I trying to say this? Okay, what I'm trying to say is that okay, pile four, one more time, it just cut out. And literally, as I was just trying to say, like, I love myself too much to be a victim. I love myself too much to remain a victim if I've been victimized. See this Gemini down here and like the air element? This is curiosity, divine curiosity, and it's also a nod to like childhood Gemini. When you're a child, it's never, ever, 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 ever your fault or your manifestation or your blah, 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 blah. When something horrific and tragic and terrible happens to you, it's never, ever your fault. However, and from a soul perspective, I do believe that we choose to come here and suffer things so that it can grow us when we are adults and learn how to make decisions to correct the actions that were taken against us or that put us in situations that children should have never been put in and stuff like that. It's a perspective shift that's needed here, and it starts with love. I didn't deserve the bad things that happened to me, nor did my family or whoever started this generational like problem of the trap. It's like apathy, mental stuckness. It's like resting at a point where it's like, well, this feels terrible. I hate this perspective of the world. I hate this perspective of the universe. Life sucks and then you die. Mentality that you've been fighting yourself against because you know better. You know better. You know that's not how the world works. You know what I'm telling you right now is true, that you came here into this family, into this generational karma of all this crap because you had the passion instilled in you to be true, like that sun that's coming up in the top. You came here to part the clouds. You came here to end the confusion, end the like raining on your own parade. You came here to partner with divinity and fight this stuff that doesn't exist because it's all just a perspective. It's all just a perspective of like the universe doesn't want to share with me. The world doesn't want to give to me. God doesn't love me. And it's not true. Look at this ancestral love and tending. They're tending your fruitful dreams. This strawberry, this gorgeous strawberry, this fruit, this plentiful seed, this beautiful bounty of sweetness and summertime, abundance, love. There's so much love here for you. You just need to get clear on that. You need to get clear on that. And the way that you do that is by observing yourself. The Queen of Swords is a mental energy and she's a good observer. Look at like she's looking out the window at the lovers, okay? You need to see yourself as your best friend and lover. That's what the universe is. That's what God is. It's you. You need to see yourself as your lover. Why would I do this to myself? Why would I give myself this set of circumstances? And listen to this. Why would I do this to myself? This is such a terrible thing. Or why would I do this to myself? What possible good could come from this? Like, one is condemning, and this is a horrible situation, and someone did this bad thing to me, and therefore I'm a victim. Or the other way is curiosity. Whoa, why would I do this to myself? What could I become if I find my power in this, through this, despite this, even? Okay? It doesn't mean you're not in a crappy situation. If you are, you are. I'm not. Changing your perspective is not about like lying to yourself, gaslighting yourself, telling yourself this isn't that bad. If it's that bad, it's that bad. If you're being abused, it sucks. If you're mentally exhausted, if you're, all of these, whatever the situation is, it's not been easy, but you've been seeing it incorrectly because generations before you have been seeing it incorrectly. But you came like the foreboding. It's like a prophecy. It's like you came here to fulfill the prophecy of your family karma, finally figuring this out, finally having someone find water in the desert. Look at this camel. Like someone finally found the way to like bring life, hydration in, you know, somebody finally figuring out how to make it in such a terrible like climate or, you know, set of circumstances, freeing yourself from this trap that's barely been there anyway. It's a new way of feeling. It's a new way of feeling your partnership or your relationship with the universe. Your way of being in the world. You're not a victim. You're a cunning teacher of yourself through partnership dynamics that can sometimes be really confusing. But if you're curious and you're willing to see all of these things as pieces and parts of you that you could grow to love, that you could see the purpose behind them, even the tragic, even the terrible. And that's a challenge. And that's a video for me for a different day. I'm going to pull one more card though. I want to see if there's anything else. There's been so many interruptions to this video and now it's finally just streaming through. So, source, love, lover of me, beloved of this one, of this beautiful soul watching this reading, hearing this message right now and letting it sink in, letting it come in to rest. Is there one more message? Perhaps, like, can you answer that curious question of, like, why? What could it be? What could be the reason why you did it this way? Like, why this way? You know, why did it have to be this way? With all the tender, compassionate love and witnessing that I know you have for pile 4, for this reader, why did it have to be this way? Show me plain so I can speak plain, so it makes sense and actually lands. The devil in reverse. You gotta be for real. Of course, the devil in reverse. And okay, so I will try to link it in the description box, but if I forget to, pile 4, go to my videos, and in my tarot, teaching tarot playlist, I have a full series video about this card. And I please watch it. If you were called to this reading and this pile, and I'm holding this card up to you, it was your life purpose, I will say with all confidence in my heart, to understand this archetype. So watch my reading and then watch a dozen other readings if you want to, if you don't understand it fully and you don't appreciate or know or understand or get it. You know what I mean? Because this is the answer. Um, it's finding this archetype in you, the devil, the thing you want to hate, the thing you want to blame all your problems on, the thing that looks like it's taking your power away from you, and seeing it in you, and seeing how you create this energy, seeing how you do. Now, again, I'm going to say very loudly and clearly, there is no child ever, including you when you were a child, that ever invites this energy or causes their own problems or any of that. Children are exempt from being any sort of responsible for what happens to them in their life. But from adulthood on, it becomes your obligation and your responsibility to love yourself enough to identify this archetype within you, the one that holds you in chains, the one that thinks that it's more powerful, and the one that you say, yeah, you're right, you're more powerful than me. Who do you agree to give your power away to, and why? The more you can uncover about that archetype in your life, the more you will heal from this whole energy, the more you will feel the love of the universe, the more you'll feel the love of your ancestors, the more you will never ever allow yourself to feel trapped ever again. You will be the Queen of Swords archetype who loves themselves so much that you cannot have something speak against your power. And you know that when you fight anything, you're fighting yourself. This is a very wise, in the making, um, pile here. Like, your wisdom is about to explode, but this is a super tricky energy to get yourself out of. And for as many swords are as on the board here, I want to draw your attention, sorry, one more time here, to how much love is here for you. This Ace of Cups is about feeling something new. You've been stuck thinking, and that's why you cannot rest. You've been stuck thinking about how to get your power back, how to take your power back, how to get more powerful, all of this stuff. And that's taken your power away. All of your power is trapped in your thoughts. You need to feel powerful. You need to feel love. Ask your ancestors. Know that you're worthy. Say, show me that you see me, please. Show me that you see me. Show me that you see me so that I may see myself as powerful. And like, get this literally off the board. Get, all of this here, 8 of Swords and this devil are like gone. You know what I mean? Like, turn this around by feeling. Turn this around by feeling. Please go watch the devil card right now. Um, like this reading, comment if you want to, but run over to the devil card reading and watch that archetype and understand it and free yourself. Free yourself for yourself and for everyone else that needs to learn this lesson and is going to, because you'll become a beacon of hope for the entire world when you change your vibration around this subject. Pile 4, thank you for watching so much. Godspeed to you on your mission with this, and I will see you in my next video.